Hello world, Shelly here, and I am coming at you with just my base because I would like to check out a new brand that I found on Amazon. They are called Undone Beauty, and the idea behind this brand, they are cruelty free and they want to undo these sort of expectations with cosmetics that you have to pay a ton of money to get good ingredients and good products. So they want to create a luxury style of product at a reasonable price point. And everything I picked up was drugstore pricing pretty much. I only got a few things. I got some eye products. They only have a handful of items, like there's 12 or 13 items so far in the entire product line, but I did pick up an eyeshadow palette, I picked up a lip and cheek palette, a mascara, and a very intriguing eye brush. And some of these are vegan, all of them are cruelty free. They do have some very nice packaging, so everything I ordered came in this nice little clear zippered pouch reusable bag. All of the items are sent in these little Ziploc pouches that have instructions for use. It's going to be really hard to see on camera, but instructions for how to use them, tips for applying the products, and the packaging experience, it was just a very nice unboxing experience. You know, they're plastic palettes. It's nothing super fancy, but it is like a nice frosted cover. They have a nice consistent sort of heavier than cheap kind of a feeling to them, but they are still, you know, plastic palettes. You know, I wouldn't call this a luxury packaging, but it does look very nice. So I figured we'd just sit down, put some of the stuff on my face, give you my first impressions. And I've not done blush, bronzer, highlight because this is a 3-in-1 lip and cheek palette. Everything here was, I started talking about pricing, then I totally changed the subject. This was $6, this was $14. The mascara, I believe, was $8. It's all pretty much drugstore pricing. And this 3-in-1 lip to cheek palette is supposed to be sheer and then medium and then full opaque coverage. And 3-in-1, I like that it is separated if this is going to be a combo product, because in the way I would choose to use it, I would make sure that one side I did for lip and never used it on my face, and the other side I did my face and never used it on my lips, because the thought of, you know, touching this and then putting it on my lips and then putting it on my face and back on my lips just grosses me out. You could, you know, scoop it out with something else or all that, but that's a lot of work and losing things. And so I do like that they are separate, so I could compartmentalize if I wanted to, but it's a cream sort of product, and I thought we would try that first. I can't really tell which is supposed to be sheer and which is supposed to be full coverage, so I'm just going to go on the opposite sides and try and swatch them. Yeah, you can definitely tell a difference here. That is the one, that is the other. So I think the one closest to the top of the palette is the sheer version. And I'm thinking sheer is going to be the way I go in terms of blush. Cream blush still freaks me out. I'm not super good at applying it, so let's just see how this goes. I don't know how well it's showing up on camera. It feels like a lot of blush to me in the mirror. Now for foundation, I am giving the Lawless Woke Up Like This Another Day in Court. So it is a bit dewy. I will say right off the bat that it's not going terribly well. So if you're holding your breath on that one, maybe you should breathe. It's blending out very, very pretty. You know, for finger blending, this is super, super easy to use. Normally, I would go in with a damp sponge to blend out these cream products, but this is really, really pretty. Oh, let's put some of the opaque one on my lips while I'm at it. It's a bit more baby pink than I would typically wear, but it's also more of a sort of a matte finish than I was expecting. I was expecting more of a sort of a glossy finish, but I think this as a blush is beautiful. I didn't do any bronzing. I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of my True Match Lumi and sort of bronze tour just the tiniest bit. They didn't have a highlight when I ordered these, so I did pick up the Maybelline Master Chrome Nikki Tutorials highlight. So let's see what this thing looks like. This is in the shade 250. Dare I say that's a little more subtle than I expected? I do love this highlight. The Molten Rose Gold is super pretty. And it's pretty, but it is more subtle than I anticipated, being a Nikki Tutorials highlight. So I got the eyeshadow palette in the smoke version, and these are wet to dry eyeshadows. You can use them either way. And there's a few mattes in here, there's some shimmers in here, there's some lights to darks, there's some smoky. In the description of the eyeshadow palette, they discuss how you get most eyeshadow palettes have all these colors that you're never going to use, and so they very carefully curated the selection of colors so that every color in here is useful and has a purpose and goes with all the other colors. And I mean, I see that, but I also don't think that other eyeshadow palettes aren't curated, so take that for what it's worth. In terms of ingredients, these have both mica and talc in them, so that is the base of the eyeshadows. I'm going to take that flesh-toned shade and use it to set my primer. I have already primed my lids with my MAC Paint Pot in Painterly, a brand new paint pot. Oh, isn't it lovely to bust into a new paint pot? My first thought is that it's kind of hard to get your brush into these skinny little stripes of color, and since there's no sort of container in between, you're going to pick up multiple colors if you don't necessarily intend to. And just to try out as many as possible, I'm thinking maybe a little purple and gold action with some of this green on the lower lash line. There's no real obvious transition shade. Normally you'd want a matte transition shade to sort of get the hoods of the lids to recede, and there really isn't one. There's a lot of shimmers in here, so I'm going to start out with the purple on the end here with a very light hand. This is a Bad Habit number 6 brush, and I'm going to see if I can just very lightly, if I use a light enough hand. Well, this is more blue than purple. Okay. Can I use this in the crease? I'm going to take a MAC 233 and go into the second shade, and I'm going to take this on the outer third of my lid. Wiped off the same brush, we're going to go in with the gold. This is a very nice shadow formula. I am enjoying it. The payoff is really nice in one swipe. They're creamy, they blend easily. I am not getting a ton of fallout. I just wish there was a transition shade in here. I'm going to put a little of this copper shade sort of in the middle to sort of transition between the gold and this purpley blue. I just feel like I need another color in here. Now this liner brush, this is supposed to be a one-step cat eye, wet, dry kind of a brush. It's got this curved notch on the end, and the idea is that you're supposed to be able to just place the brush and have insta cat eye. Now they do show in their demos putting product onto the brush, then spraying it with setting spray, and then doing it as liner. It seems like it's got some density to it, so I think you could use it for liner, but it does seem like it's going to be a little too soft. I'm not sure. We're going to try this and we will see. I'm going to use that darkest shade, the second shade here, and get some on the brush. And first we'll do the liner. Well, maybe first we'll do the cat eye. I'm going to spray it. Maybe there's not enough product. Sort of works. It doesn't really come to a sharp enough point for my taste, you know, for it to be a true cat eye. But if you work with it, you can get it there. I do like the shape of this brush for doing powder liner because that tapered little end is really nice for getting the contour of the eye. I like that. I was not expecting to like that, and I like that. I'm gonna take the Bad Habit number 4 smudger brush, and I think I'm going to go into this more greenish shade, maybe a touch of the blue next to it. And I'm going to take this on the lower lash line. There's not really a color to smoke that out with. I'm going to try taking a little bit of that copper. This is a Luxie smudger brush. And I don't know, this might just ruin everything, but we're gonna try it anyway. I'm also gonna try out this Oprah eyeliner. I've never tried an eyeliner from Oprah. I did receive this complimentary in PR. This is in the shade Turquoise, and I'm gonna run this on my lower lash line. I'm also going to try out this Oprah eyeliner. I've never tried an eyeliner from Oprah. I did receive this complimentary in PR. This is in the shade Turquoise, and I'm going to run this on my lower lash line. That went on easily, very smooth. Let's get some fallout out of the way here. The last thing I have from Undone is this Light On mascara, and the key to this stuff is that it's supposed to have light reflecting pigments in it that, I don't know, make your lashes look all light and stuff. Here is the wand. Let us see, I have already curled my lashes. There is one coat. There's two. 3 coats. I would say this mascara it's giving a little bit of volume. It is giving nice separation, but I prefer a little bit more volume and a little bit more lengthening in my mascaras. This is just a little too natural looking for me, because you know, I never look natural. And I put a little L'Oreal Glossy Fawn over that pink. Let's see where we ended up. Here is the finished look. All right, rundown. You know, the mascara is okay. It's not as dramatic as I tend to like. You can tell when you look at the formula in the tube that there is something sort of glossy tinted, something different about it, but I don't think that really translates to the lashes. It really doesn't look like anything different on my lashes. I've been like moving my head around in the light, trying to get light to catch off of it, and if that's gonna happen any place, it's gonna be when I got studio lights right on my face. I don't see anything different in the way it looks on my lashes. So it's okay. I like something more dramatic, but it applied well. It looks very nice. It has very nice separation, a little bit of volume. I would just like a little bit more volume and a bit more lengthening to it, but that's a personal preference. I think the formula is very nice. The eyeshadow, I like the formula a lot. Very easy to use, both wet and dry. I think the shimmers are super easy to apply. One swipe opacity, beautiful finish. The mattes blend out super easily. My complaint is you know, they talk about the color curation, but this is kind of a hard palette to use, I think. There's no real transition shade, or if that's intended to be the transition shade, like that's really light for a transition. You know, that's practically my flesh, and I'm pretty pale. So if your skin is darker than mine, that's more of a highlight shade. There isn't really... Oh, I didn't do my inner corner highlight. Let's do the little white shade here, shall we? Ooh! No doubt this is a very nice, nicer than drugstore, I would say, formula. I just think this color palette is a little bit difficult to work with. There are a few other selections of the colors. I really like this formula, and I'm not usually a fan of wet to dry. I usually don't find that they perform very well wet, and this performed beautifully as liner. Speaking of liner, this brush I thought was going to be pretty gimmicky. Thumbs up on the brush. Now, I have hooded lids. It is hard for me to do a wing, especially a wing with powder, and, you know, you're not going to get the, you know, cut-a-girl kind of a wing with this, but nice enough. I think thumbs up on this brush. Yes, like it. And lastly, not a big fan of this for lip, but definitely a fan of it for blush. I think the cream to blush, what is this called? Lip to cheek palette. Very, very, very pretty for blush. Very easy to blend out. Very nice as a blush option. So what do I think of Undone Beauty? Total thumbs up. I will try more from this brand. I am definitely impressed right out of the gate. So there you have it. If you've been curious, if you want to try out a new brand, if you want to check out some more cruelty-free makeup, you can order on their website at undone-beauty.com. You can also find them on Amazon, which is where I found them. So go ahead, check it out. They get my thumbs up. They get a seal of approval from Geek Out of Water. There you have it, another look at some drugstore priced makeup. If you like these sort of budget-friendly makeup checkouts, give me a thumbs up down below. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. As always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate it, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.